How I removed my wife from my life. I'll try to summarize the last year of my life. It started last year. My wife says she no longer loves me and reveals an emotional affair. Co-worker. Devastated, I react like any other man in this situation and try to fix everything and go overboard. I check her emails and phone, and as far as I can tell, the emotional affair is one-sided and not physical. The next few months I try my best to address her needs. I educate myself with relationship books. She feels awful about the emotional affair and actively avoids talking to him. Overall, everything seems normal. We spend time as a family, 2 kids, 3 and 5 years. We hold hands, hug, talk, compliment each other. But nothing physical. Every time bedroom time comes up, she reminds me that there is no love and wants to separate. She leaves a few days here and few days there and comes back. We went to marriage counseling and started to see improvements, more intimacy. One-sided, her touching me. But eventually broke down and stopped going. She feels like she has no control over her life. I've tried a combination of Plan A and 180, but every time I start seeing results, we run into the intimacy issue again. This last breakdown, I told her that I would like her to be there for me physically and that she can't just have me around as a friend. I've told her more than once that she is free to do whatever she wants. I won't stop her from leaving. But at the same time, I've said that I believe in marriage and want us to be a family. I can't find many resources on men in the situation I'm in. I keep trying these 180, but I keep falling every time she starts coming back to me. She usually goes to a hotel on her own and leaves the kids. Comes back miserable because she misses them. She's also stayed with a friend of ours once. We still live together. If I file for divorce, I'll have to follow through if she calls the bluff. I'm not ready to do that yet. But I guess I have to do something, don't I? Comments. It sounds like you are afraid that she will call your bluff. However, your marriage can't continue as it stands now, can it? And what about her filing for divorce, since she is the one who wants to end it, at her convenience? Yes, unless you are enjoying the situation now, and clearly you are not. You just may have to end the charade. The marriage as you knew it is over. You can ride this out, but you will end up divorced eventually. Your other option is to end this marriage, and maybe in the process she will realize that she is losing you for good. This might clear her head, or it might not, but you really have no choice, and the sooner the better. Good luck to you. I feel your pain, but sometimes you have to look out for yourself and your children, with or without her. Seems like your approach worked to a certain degree, a few times even, but then you push for physical time and you're back to square one. Maybe you expect major results too fast. Different women are wired differently, so it could be that for your wife. LD anyway, getting physical is not on the menu before you guys connect emotionally in a larger degree than you got to achieve yet. So, I would stay the course and not push for anything physical anymore, for the time being. She knows you want it, let her initiate when she's ready. Your wife clearly told you she doesn't love you. She already cheated on you, and is unwilling to sleep with you. And you still think you can reconcile. You clearly gave it your all. Your wife is done. What she has done or how she did it is now irrelevant. It's time to move on, close this chapter of your life and find someone that will treat you better. You don't deserve this. P.S. Keep children completely out of this. You are being in an unhealthy relationship is as bad on them as no marriage. And to your advantage, they are still too young to really understand. So it should be easier. Last advice, I would gather as much evidence as possible before pressing any buttons. And of course try to reach a mutual agreement with your wife. With no lawyers involved, cause the second that happens expect 5 to 15K going to them, from each of you. Good luck. OP responds, yes, that is the dilemma. File for divorce or continue. Have any other men here been through anything similar? Did your partner come back to connect with you again intimately after being apart for a long time? In counseling, she said the last time she felt love was after our firstborn. After the emotional affair was addressed, she did say she loved me but quickly backtracked. We are really good friends. She says that I am her best friend, and we've known and dated each other for a long time. Since high school. After our second was born, I did not meet all her needs, but I wouldn't say I was really neglectful. I have addressed those issues these last couple of months. There was a time after our first that we were getting physical a lot, and that resulted in our second. It was part of what she said she never had control over. She had a hard time saying no to me because she was always afraid to disappoint me. I had no idea that she felt this way until our initial marriage breakdown. I haven't been pushing for anything this past couple of months. I've been giving her space, but it does come up once in a while when I can hold it in any longer. When you put things that way, I feel stupid because it becomes obvious. I'm trying to see if we can get past whatever she is going through. I completely believe that the problem is with her, not me. I acknowledged my faults early. I made it clear that her affair was unacceptable and that it was disrespectful to me and our marriage. That is where my head is right now. It took me a while to get there, but I do realize that divorce is an option. Just not convinced yet that it is the only option. The reality, yes, it really sucks. But humor me for a moment, I'm on the fence here. What if the EO is over like she says and she is truly just confused about our marriage? Don't people question their marriages? Having kids changes people. Combine that with the control issues she's brought up. Would your advice still be the same? She still tries to do things together with me. Believe me, everything I've read makes me want to do another check on her movements, but she can't do much when she has to pick up the kids every day after work and she's busy running a class as a teacher. She hasn't been going out much on the weekends and I'm not seeing anything on her phone, no secretive calls or texts. For the last couple of months, I've taken the path of not bringing up anything, not creating any pressure. I thought that this would be the best tactic based on what I've read. I truly believed that she was going through a midlife crisis of sorts. After the last breakdown, she wants a separation. Should I initiate it with a divorce? What would be the stronger position here? Other advice I've received says to let her do it. Yes, we are in limbo and I am accepting that either you love someone or not. I don't want to move out because I don't think I should. I would want her to move out. I will let everyone know how this plays out tonight. So last night I basically told her that a separation will mean a divorce for me. She asked me if I wanted her out of the house and I said yes. I gave her 2 weeks to find a place. I told her that her EA destroyed this marriage and there will be no reconciliation because there is no love. I told her that I've been trying for the past year and it has all been one-sided. She waited for me to come to bed, but instead I slept in a separate room last night. I don't feel good right now. She's already asked me in a text if she can take the kids on Sunday to her grandmother's house for Mother's Day, to address everyone who is convinced that she is having a party every time she leaves. I know for a fact that she was alone when she left. Once she stayed with her parents, she was miserable every time she left and came home. The last time I put my foot down, she came back wanting to try MC that improved things for a while but ended. How do I prevent this from happening again? How do you know if someone is truly remorseful? I don't want to fall into the same patterns again. I'm trying to find ways to stay strong here. An update on what has happened. Yesterday we both attended my daughter's arts night at her school. Before leaving she said that she would leave and spend the night alone Saturday night. I told her that I'd rather her stay, but under the conditions I previously stated, become a loving partner again. Leaving means divorce? Own up to the EA etc. that made her really angry and she was miserable all night. She told me that what's happening right now to us has nothing to do with the OM. She avoided me all this morning. I think I really hit a nerve here. My wife is really horrible at expressing her feelings. It's strange because I always thought women were better at this than men. She easily gets confused by how she feels and can't put anything to words. That's why I keep feeling like I have to keep repeating these conditions for her. That was also why MC was really difficult. It comes from a background where her mother really controlled her as she grew up. A week later, you guys were right on. Io is still alive and well. Couldn't get through all the emails. Was too angry. But I have all the evidence I need. Exposed it. Will expose further. Next step, divorce. I'm not interested in R and won't be. She gasses lighted for a year, so I'm done. So, I'm scheduled to talk to an attorney tomorrow. I'm absolutely not interested in any R. I'm down from my anger high and feel miserable right now. I am shaking a bit. What can I expect in the next few days in terms of emotions? Want to be prepared. We are going to live under the same roof for the time being until we can sell the place. I want this to be as quick as possible. I exposed immediately to parents, called, and her friends, co-workers. Emails. But as I said, it doesn't matter now. I know I'm moving on. I will open up a new post if needed. I've already spoken to an attorney. I'm in Canada, so yes, they have an adultery divorce. But it will be faster and cheaper for me to get an agreement from her that the marriage was over last year and then a divorce can follow right away. We have started a custody schedule where one of us leaves the house for a few days. I'm currently out of the house. I'm taking the time to get everything in motion. First step, drafting the separation agreement. As much as I'd like to share the emails from the affair, I can't. Don't want to revisit them at this time. But just know that they give me the resolve to see this through. I won't be taking her back because I refuse to be pulled into the pattern. I'm above that now. So, if there is anything to be learned from my experience, it would be to trust your instinct when it comes to your marriage. Protect it by being proactive. If something feels off, do whatever is needed to uncover the cause and don't settle. The only thing I feel now for my soon-to-be ex is pity. She could have had an amazing life. I wonder if I'll find someone again like my STBXW. Not the person who cheated, but the person I married and grew up with. I really miss the woman I married. I know that things will never be the same. I'm moving forward no matter what. It just really hurts to see part of that person still there in her. The idea that I'll have to live the rest of my life seeing the shell of what may have been sucks. The family I wanted. For those who have kids, how did you cope? Full custody and never having to deal with her again would have been ideal. I'm losing steam. I'm about to get the final draft of our separation agreement from the lawyer so we can sign and move towards divorce. But I'm having trouble seeing the end. My STBXW comes by the house every few days to be with the kids, and every time I see her, I'm either angry or depressed. When she comes to the house, she sleeps in the den. I don't interact with her and we don't even look at each other. Still no remorse. The idea that she is getting support from the other man, co-workers, and friends makes me feel guilty for some reason. Makes me feel like I should have been stronger and better in our marriage. The other thing that infuriates me is the way she is just waiting for me to do everything. I drafted the separation agreement. I'm taking apart the furniture and I will be listing the house. Not sure what else to do to keep moving on. I'm already in shape. Always have been. Not interested in hitting the gym to get ripped. Been keeping busy with friends and family. Going out for long walks has been really helpful. This is probably the beginning of the emotional roller coaster. What other things did you do to help you get through this? I thought I picked a good person. She spoke about how important family was. She had a good profession as a teacher. She was never one to lie until our marriage. We improved as a couple. We communicated more and were best friends. Is the lesson taught her that people change and we just have to accept that? Do women change after having babies? The whole time I thought that was what was happening. She was going through some midlife change. After some reflection, I admit that I did put her on a pedestal at times, but I also did complain when I wasn't happy. I fought for my marriage always. I am a beta, alpha mix. I've always been an active person and do alpha things like martial arts, hanging out with the boys, etc. I don't think I lost her by being too beta, and I doubt that I lost her by not doing the laundry. I also play with my kids and love putting them to bed. When I confronted her at first, she denied it, until I revealed the evidence. No remorse. Her family are rug sweepers. Informed her co-workers but not the principal. Co-workers knew something was going on but let it go on. My relationship with her now. Minimum contact. If we ever talk, it is about the kids. I ignore her and I'm getting good at it. I told her if there is anything else to please email me about it. As someone here told me, why waste my energy on her and the OM when I can be directing that energy towards myself and my kids? The teaching profession is predominantly women. The one single guy in the school kept at it with her and she gave in. Their relationship was 3 years in the making. I know of another male teacher who cheated on his wife. He told me that he was tempted all the time being the only male in the school. I guess that is a lesson learned. Be wary of teachers. When we went through our pre-marriage course with the church, the priest asked us if we could forgive infidelity. She said yes and I said no. I did catch a flirty email between the two of them after our firstborn and I lost it. I told her that friends don't speak to each other that way. She said that they were just friends. I told her to set him straight. She said she did and naively I believed her. With the stress of the baby and getting pregnant again soon after, I didn't realize that she just stopped bringing him up and started taking her infatuation underground. I've been with the ex for a long time, so I'm slowly getting back into it. I've hung out with a few women these past few weeks. For lunch, drinks, etc. Mostly friends, some of them single. Just not into them that way but trying to get my mind there. I have to say it's helped a lot. I do feel that I do get some interest, but the ups and downs I'm going through are too much of a distraction right now. So, I'm doing all the right things, just not feeling myself yet. I do doubt sometimes about finding a good woman. Not thinking about replacing, just trying to figure out how to have fun again. I'm joining a gym this Friday. I'm trying to get the house sold. It's pretty hard trying to get rid of all the stuff, especially when there are memories involved. She's so cold and businesslike with me. It stings and hurts, but I'm trying not to let it affect me. It's like this person has no feelings anymore. STBXW admitted to me a few weeks ago that she knows that the OM doesn't give a crap about our kids. It came out when I pressed her about where she is going to live. It's been playing in my mind ever since. All this for what? She's tried apologizing to our friends but doesn't even have the courage to talk to me about what's happened. She's living with her parents right now and that's where the kids will be staying while they are with her. I'm moving into my parents' house with the kids at the end of this week. I've prepared them for the move and they are amped to have their own bedrooms. I no longer worry about them anymore. I know they'll cope and adjust. I've found that a good outlet for me is writing and journaling. Sometimes though it seems like I can't write enough about it. Sometimes I wish I could shut off my brain. I'm too analytical sometimes. My friends keep telling me to move on, to get over it, that it wasn't me, that she never really wanted this life with me. I know they care, but what the duck? It's hard to talk to friends and family about the situation. They don't seem to know what to say and it gets awkward. I think it's because many of them are still in shock. Moving the kids out of the house and into my parents this weekend. Separation agreement is done, it just needs to be signed. Going out a lot. Tonight, for drinks with co-workers. Still waiting for it to feel fun and normal but still not there yet. Is that normal? 1 month later, thought I would post an update and see if anyone had any thoughts. Kids are adjusting well and they are happy. I'm adjusting also. Every time she drops off the kids, she looks like she's going to cry. I notice every time she does drop them off, she is looking her best. No need to dress up for a drop-off. The house is being listed this week. I told her to clean out all the junk in the house so it can be viewed and she did it. I have a separation agreement signed and I've gotten everything that I wanted. She signed the separation agreement without all her lawyer's amendments because I told her to. It's like she's just going along with anything I tell her. I've read a lot about how it's played out for a lot of people here, and the amount of suffering I see her in now isn't enough for me. Granted, I don't know how she is when I'm not around, and I don't even know if the OM is still in the picture. The problem I have is that I know too much. I've pieced together everything with the trail of emails spanning 2 years. All the lies and scheming. I have an appointment to see a counselor this week. I'm prepared for her to be the woman she always wanted to be. When we started having problems last year, she told a friend that she felt trapped, that she couldn't do it anymore. That she was flirty and couldn't be herself. No signs of her trying to reconcile. I'm not getting any resistance. Like I mentioned, she's just going along with what I tell her. She lives with her parents when she has the kids, not sure what she does when she doesn't. With the emails I've learned about how she would meet up with the OM before school at a nearby park. I've pieced together times when she would say she was with co-workers or alone but secretly meeting with him. They would FaceTime when she was supposedly marking and I was in the house. She was fulfilling all of his fantasies. And she was always hoping he would be the stepdad. She would hint at it to him. Believe me, it's not like I didn't ask for those things. She would also complain about the kids and the family things we would do together. One of the first emails, 2 years ago, in the secret mailbox was his apartment address and him saying he loved her. That tells me their relationship started way before. He was basically telling her that he never saw her as a wife. That she would always be the single woman he started working with. They would send pictures of each other and share what was going on in their lives. All that time she was trying to be faithful to him, lying to herself and to me, pretending that it was her identity she was trying to find, and all the other BS. She was also afraid of what other people might think. She told a friend that I didn't let her talk to guys and that I wouldn't even let her talk to her principal. I always tried not to be the jealous type. I questioned her sometimes about having lunch with the other man, just the two of them, when I thought it was just friendly. I told her I wouldn't like it if it happened often. Lunch just the two of them. Is it too much to expect that your partner should make you feel secure so you don't have to question this kind of thing? She never made any effort to keep the friendships she had with her girlfriends. I encouraged her to try. Should that have been a red flag for me? She would spend more of her time talking with guy co-workers. Wanted to destroy her, but I needed to be strategic, and I got what I wanted from the separation agreement, which was control over my investment account. I acted as quickly as I could when she was feeling some guilt. I'm not making any time for her unless it has to do with the kids. I've also had to recently cut my friendship with my best friend because his fiancée insists on speaking to my ex and supporting her, and he doesn't have the balls to say anything. He didn't turn out to be a good friend after all. I was going to be his best man at his wedding next year. Not anymore though. The fallout from this sucked, but I see it as a purge of all the negative things in my life. I'm taking out the trash and I'm burning it. You're right, no more parasites. She feels sorry for herself, but I don't see any real remorse. She apologized to some of our friends about what happened, saying she was a horrible person but never said anything to me. I couldn't take her back and she knows it. I won't live with that crap. Couple weeks later, received a good offer on the house. Closing is in a month's time. Applied for divorce? Now just have to get someone to serve her the papers. Feeling really down right now? With the NC, I've been able to see many of the things that were lacking in our relationship. Many of my needs were not being met. You'd think I'd be happy with this realization and I'd be excited about finding someone who could treat me right. But I'm not at all excited right now. All I keep thinking is, why the hell couldn't she be that for me? I also get down and ducking angry, thinking that she'll be better for the OM. She did crap for him she never did for me. Are WS able to start over again from a clean slate that easily? 1 month later. It's been a while since I last wrote an update. I'm at the end of a week-long trip to the cottage with my family and the kids. Today is my son's birthday and we had some FaceTime with the ex. After the kids said goodbye, I could see the ex start to cry as I disconnected the video chat. I left it alone and went on with my business. Before we left on vacation, I went to the house to pick up a few things. She was at the house, which was unexpected. The house closing is at the end of the month. I could tell that she had just finished crying, but she came down to talk business about what furniture I wanted to keep. I told her we could talk about it when I returned. For a moment I felt sorry for her. I wanted to do something but fought the urge and left. My good friend reminded me that she shed no tears for me when I confronted her. That she's only feeling sorry for herself now. That's what I believe. The NC is changing me subtly every day. I read here that the one who cares less has all the power. I refuse to be a chump, so I'm trying to get to the I don't give a crap state. On another note, I got a new job that pays more and is more interesting, and it starts in September. I plan to take a week for myself before I start to travel somewhere on the West Coast. My STBXW sent me an email saying she wanted to talk about stuff. I replied asking her what she wanted to talk about. She said she wanted to apologize at the very least. Not sure what to make of it and don't really want to meet her. Not sure if I can face her without losing it. But it could be a chance to air out everything. Don't know what to do. I want to give her crap, but I don't think it will wake her up and give me satisfaction. It could be something more because her friend was reaching out to my other friend and fishing for info about what's going on. I don't think that's a coincidence. Signed the closing papers and handed over the keys last Friday. She looked sad. After everything was done, I decided to listen to what she had to say. She said that she was trying and keeping her mind open to fixing our marriage the past year. She said this was her problem and she truthfully just want control over her life, and she's sorry that she didn't give me a chance to be that support for her. I told her that all that was BS. True reconciliation meant being truthful, remorseful, and showing humility. Then the tone changed to pity and she asked me if I could make sure that my family wouldn't talk badly about her in front of the kids. I gave her my goodbye letter and left. She replied in an email later, but it was more of the same thing, never addressing anything I said in it. She said she won't argue but continued to ask me not to badmouth her. I just had to listen to see if there was any remorse. There was none. 1 month later, final update. I didn't want to leave you guys without the ending. Mine is not really an ending but a beginning. I've started a new job and I've also started dating an amazing girl. She gave me her number when I left my old job. I never noticed her until recently. We are really into each other. I'm taking it slow, but I feel so much stronger and smarter now. I'm looking for red flags and I've been completely honest with her about them. This seems to make me even more attractive to her. My eyes are open to all the possibilities. Things look completely different now. Looking back, the one most important thing I did that helped me heal was going NC. For those of you with kids, it is possible to go NC. I only communicate with the ex when it has to do with the kids, and even then, it is only through email. I've gotten to the point where I don't care. It's been said here that the opposite of love is not hate but apathy. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm fine with that because I know how to be happy on my own. I know the value I bring. 2 months later, things are going well with the new GF. The co-parenting thing I'm handling without any issues. Our wedding anniversary was this month and I received a really short email from my ex and all it said was, "I'm so sorry." I replied saying the kids are happy and I am happy. She should be happy and to keep all communication strictly about the kids. My comment: another story with an ending. Do you think OP came out stronger or weaker? What do you think about that ex's final message? Would you have done the same? Comment down below and check out the other uploads recently.